and thank you just for praying for me for so long and for my vocation. Yeah, I kind of just wanted to begin as well by talking about a scripture passage found in Samuel. And I feel like it very much just sums up kind of what my vocation story can be compared to. So in this passage, basically, there's Samuel, who's a young boy, and there's an older man named Eli, and they both live in the temple together. And Samuel is sleeping one night, and he hears his name called, Samuel, Samuel. And he runs to Eli, and he's like, Eli, did you call me? And Eli's like, no, go back to bed. So Samuel goes back to bed. And then again, a different night, Samuel hears his voice being called, Samuel, Samuel. And he runs to Eli, and he's like, Eli, was it you this time? No, it wasn't. Go back to bed. And on the third time, Samuel goes to Eli, and Eli says, Samuel, I don't think it's me, and it might be the Lord. And so Samuel then approaches the Lord, and he says, speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. And this past year in my life was so good. I had the privilege of going to Franciscan, which was just such a gift. And while I was there, I kind of kept coming home on breaks and being like, it's great, but this doesn't seem like it's it, and it must be the school, so maybe I'll just like transfer schools. And I would tell this to my parents, and they'd be like, I don't think it's the school, kind of like this, go back to bed, Samuel. Like, I don't think, it's not us, it's not us. And then again, a second time, I came home over spring break, and I was like, maybe it's my friends, that maybe that's why all the restlessness is there. And again, I was like, just go back to bed. It's not us calling you. And then finally, the third time, I approached them over Easter break. And they were like, Maura, maybe it's not the school. Maybe it's not your friends. Maybe it's the Lord. And maybe you should go sit in his presence and listen to what he has to say. And so with that, I went to prayer. And I took it to prayer, and it was very clear to me in prayer that like this was actually one of my desires. So in May, I had the privilege of being able to go to Nashville, Tennessee to visit the Dominicans. And while I was there, I kind of had this same response of just speak, Lord, your servant is listening, and the Lord spoke. And it's very clear while he was there that not only was it my desire, but that he was desiring me. That he is asking me to give everything, and that in return, I'm going to be able to receive his sacred heart. And that's just like the greatest gift that I could ever ask for. So with that, I said yes, and I got the application while I was down there. And I'm just so excited to enter into this first year. It's considered postulancy, and then I'll become a novitiate, and I won't take final vows till 8 years from now. And another thing about the Dominicans I just fell in love with while I was down there was their charism. The Dominicans are huge on like, you contemplate, and then you take what you heard and received in prayer, and then you go share it. So it's kind of like this cycle of like you pray, and then you teach, and then you go back to prayer. So everything that you teach is a fruit of prayer. And I loved that idea of being contemplative and active, and then specifically in the active life of heading into teaching. So I will be going back to school for that down the road. And I'm just so excited to enter into this new adventure of religious life. So thank you.